What's the mighty good word? I'm your wild and free high priest. Chillin', my name's Armando. Thank you all, ever so grateful as always. To connect, to reconnect, thank you so much. Ever so grateful for our energetic exchange. Y'all, happy first quarter moon in Scorpio at around 10 degrees. Currently we are past that mark, but a lot of things to kick off August, as in the planetary vibrations. Once again, thank you as always. I appreciate the likes. I know we're a little quiet since it is a small channel. I ask that you do comment. I ask that you do like the videos to support me and support the channel. I used to be very forgiving, and yet I still am. I hit like if you do, which some of you do. Thank you so much. And before I go on, I just would like to connect and open the channel. I would like to connect to the guides of the highest, most brilliant divine white light, our guides of the most brilliant divine white light, to protect us as I channel and interpret for your divine. Thank you so much. Once again, happy first quarter moon in Scorpio under the sun in Leo. Secrets revealed, right? And we've read the Sabian before. I tend to say that often as I am repetitive, but because the moons are tied, if you do vibe with the gestation periods of the moon, attuned to the longer 2.5 year cycles that a new moon kicks off, this new moon or this first quarter moon pertains to or harkens to the moon in Scorpio that occurred, the new moon in Scorpio that occurred in the fall of 2024. And so now we are about 9.5 to 10 months ahead of that. And then in another 9.5 to 10 months, we'll have a full moon in Scorpio during, when would it be? In the Taurus season of 2026. So this is energy that is building in momentum, right? And so this retrograde is significant in that retrogrades usually bring in people from the past, but really what I'm getting is a return to peace, like return to the mountain. I believe that's a Qi or Qigong. I want to say asana, but I'm like, that's yoga. It's a particular Qigong movement of returning to calmness, to inner peace. And so maybe that is suggestive in that if you are lonely or scared to even come into recommitments, reconciliations, to tending to those of the past, it's more a suggestion to return to inner peace, inner calm before you decide to not reconcile or to actually meet with someone. And the next few years could have that quality of fated events, which we see in the world at large, how just random, it seems very wild and sped up. The number 2022 and the number 11, which a lot of us maybe refrain from certain words or language, but because we on this channel like to reclaim, we do honor the word master. And so master number 11 and 22, which are creative, creator and builder numbers. So if you can witness yourself as a idea shaker, I was going to say idea shaker, idea maker, a creative. Even if you don't, that is something that you that your guides want you to be pushed towards and or encouraged to do so, to take on creative efforts. Creative efforts can be at large. They can be beyond, say, painting, beyond reading tarot, beyond writing. They can be they can be like exercise or practices like cooking, right? And then I do have 11/20/22. I'm so sorry. 2022 could be significant to some of y'all. I know that was a big year for me. In the midst of my journey, which now it does. There's a fork in my road in this journey, on this journey that I've been on, and it's really fascinating to me. Back then, I wasn't really ready for that fork. In 2022, I experienced a huge. There was an eclipse in Aries. I think a full moon lunar eclipse in Aries in October 2022. I think it was even like October 7th or October 13th, something like that. Anyway, before I go on too much about myself, I do want to cut to the Sabian Oracle image, Scorpio 10. Thank you so much, Linda Hill. And so that may make or frame what I'm even talking about, right? And then I'll kick into some Oracle. Thank you all so much for being here. Scorpio 10. A fellowship supper reunites old comrades. In the situation facing you, there is a chance to eat, drink, and be merry with old comrades. Reunions and gatherings of people who haven't seen each other for a long time can be very rewarding and can remind you of cherished days long gone. Stories from each one's past can be brought up, as well as sharing present time realities. This symbol can also indicate the feeling of having met or having known someone before, even if they haven't literally met each other previously. That this supper reunites old comrades shows there can be the sense that you somehow shared past life experiences. Feelings or realizations of togetherness can come from breaking bread, drinking, and socializing. Wow, it's 11/11. I love the way it shows up. Can you see? I don't have. Oh yeah, 111. Breaking bread, drinking, and socializing with others. These feelings can be very strong and can bring up all sorts of reactions and emotions. True friendships and fraternity are likely to result from this meeting and bring a sweet sense of nostalgia. Have you been avoiding socializing with like-minded people lately? Keywords are renewing bonds with those you've shared struggles with, past life connections, feeling like you've known someone for lifetimes, reaching out to others, having 1,000,001 things to talk about, reunions and memories, talking about the past, sharing meals, drinking wine, the Last Supper, partaking in the gifts of special relationships, fated meetings, the caution, only feeling comfortable with the past, resisting joining with others, feeling like a loner with no one to share the good things in life, being uneasy about having to face old comrades or adversaries, secrets being revealed, gossip that belittles others, breaking the ice. Thomas Paine quote, "Better fare hard with good men than feast it with bad." Reverend Sidney Smith quote, "Madame, I have been looking for a person who disliked gravy all my life. Let us swear eternal friendship." Dorothy Parker quote, "We look like a road company of the Last Supper." Prince Nicholas Romanov quote, "Friendships develop over food and wine." Tryon Edwards quote, "Every parting is a form of death, as every reunion is a type of heaven." Samuel Pepys Quote, strange to see how a good dinner and feasting reconciles everybody. Okay, yeah, so the number 1, the number 712, 3-digit numbers. I am obviously not prepared. I won't say ill prepared. I sometimes want to just come on here without having written a whole spiel. Returning to the mountain, returning to your core before stepping into more, I'd say, drama, but I don't mean that as in you're causing drama or there's drama around you. It is just a dramatic time. I think a lot of people are very emotional. August will be a moment to recommit to yourself and to also recommit to a lot of maybe things that you've put down and paused. So efforts that you really do actually love and feel for, and it doesn't have to be that deeply emotional. I think as the world becomes more deeply emotional, my Aquarian evolutionary auric field starts vibrating at a higher frequency. So there's too much to take in. Learn what you can, but don't overwhelm yourself. And if you are, I believe that feeling emotional and feeling too many emotions is overwhelming. And tending to others' emotions, it's like do we forget that emotions are fleeting, and they do contain codes for us to tend to, but a lot of the times we're reacting, and so it's best to become more aware of when the emotion is a reaction or the emotion is an actual individually felt or even empathic, sympathetic, and what that means for you, right? Not necessarily what your emotions mean for everyone around you. Wow. Okay. I don't know where that came from, but I get kind of lost in the sauce, right? That's sometimes why I don't want to write too much, because I can tend to more of these in tune. Anyway, I do feel like this sense of like awakening, but not necessarily like spiritual, more like, yeah, I want to return to some things. I want to return a message, or there are messages that I need to return, or it doesn't have to be like a text message either. It's just like a bookmark. You bookmark something. It doesn't have to be a online thing either. Let me go into this. What are we sensing this first quarter moon in Scorpio? A huge sort of almost a crossroads, right? Your commitment is being tested. Oh my God, first quarter moon. Okay, I can't help it. What? So your commitment to you, your commitment to what you love. And so what is the advice that this moon is offering while our commitment is being tested? Okay, it's flipping over for me. You're very close to achieving your goal. So the advice is to not stop. And the gibbous moon is an emotional. We will have a full moon in Aquarius, which, while Aquarius is we were just talking about that. Aquarius is very cold. It's that symbolic cold shoulder, or just cold and icy. I don't give an F sort of attitude. But with that comes like suppression of emotions. And so this is what I mean. Instead of allowing them to take over you, to pertain too much to emotions, it's allowing them to pass. It's talking about them, even if it's to yourself in a journal or with a professional, or when you come to these tarot readings, it is about feeling and then letting it go. Maybe you do get upset. Maybe you do feel happy. Maybe there is a sense of contentment or any of those types of frequencies or vibrations. But it is more like, remember to recharge. It's more so the tending to aspects, not necessarily of the frequency or that vibration that you're feeling, like the mood. It's more, where do these moods, how far do these moods take you? So it is about recharging and making sure your battery isn't necessarily full, but it's you're recharged. Are you recharging, and are you recharging so that you stay on track, on your track? And are you always becoming are you always becoming frustrated when you are tested? Are you not willing to commit to passing the test, to taking the test? Are you not willing to recharge by getting rest? Are you unwilling to see that the difficulty means there's a ease, and in every easing of the path there in lies an obstacle up ahead? So you can't have one without the other. And then the triple or the third state is overcoming and self-mastery, self-understanding, so that you can spiral up. Sound healing, singing, writing, very significant here. Thank you so much. What can help the collective with these energies, right? Wow, the energies are just coming up. A time for healing, balsamic moon. So don't forget to rest. So these energies, August won't be super difficult, but it is that middle post. It's a checkpoint. And so a lot of us can feel like, oh, I can't take this anymore. So that's your sign to rest. That is your sign that it's not so much me telling you like, yes, you can do it, but I want you to feel that for yourself. Not that you can do it, not that you're going to get up and go at it and do it, but that you are again regaining momentum and recharging in your time of rest, knowing that the energy is gaining momentum, that you're being tested along the way, and that you do foresee that this is, at this point, at this middle junction, there's more up ahead. And remember what the Sabian Oracle image assures us is that you can ask for help. Being alone is good, but in being alone, make sure you have access to help and to support, whether it's spiritual guidance and support or actual friendships. And some of us can feel sometimes that we don't have true friendships, but in that case, I say, is there someone from the past, really? Or maybe this is where you do check in with your guides and say, what's one, how can I commit to friendships? How can I commit to having better friendships? How can I commit to even having friendships that are lasting? But also with technological advancement, you can always reach out to someone, I suppose, even if you are far, far away. There's someone near and dear. Wow, 1133. So all the master numbers are here. And I know I just kind of flippantly were like, we're reclaiming, we reclaim language. Yes, so mastery is about the self. It isn't about power over the other. mastering, and master is about you and not allowing others to take advantage of you. So we've seen systems do that, and we still see systems do that. And I believe one of our first chipping away at those systems is to dive. I don't know why I want to say divulge, dissect perhaps the language, so that you can infiltrate. I've said too much. Okay, I'll come, please. Wow, confidence is your key to success, and the answers you need are coming. This is that midway point. In speaking of midway points, medium. There's a sense of mediumship too. So you can't be alone if you're a medium, right? That can be scary, I know. Confidence is your key to success. We are under the light of the new moon in Leo. We are under so much fire energy that you are beginning. Don't be scared of beginning so many new things. There's a lot of Aries energy. And look, number 11. No wonder. Remember, there's nothing that can really... There is no fear in this. There's nothing that... It's not about that it's not about a message like, well, with the Leo and Aries energy, yeah, you can overcome almost anything. But it's not... The advice isn't to fight for everything and to fight to overcome everything. It's to use discernment, okay? The typical, be discernible in what you want to fight for, be discernible in what you actually have energy to fight for, right? There aren't many things that'll keep you back. There are many things trying to keep you back. More so, I want to spin that message and say there are many things that are that want you to believe that you can be held back. So some things can hold us back. But I believe it's giving in too much to those thought vibrations and those feelings like, this is going to hold me back. When you give in to that, perhaps it will, but maybe you want to say, maybe it is in reclaiming the language that you speak onto yourself to have more confidence, right? So knowing that there are obstacles in the way that are too big a boulder to move aside or to release, then what can you chip away at? What can you work to become stronger and strengthen? And then you can tackle the bigger, right? And by then, that relative point, is it then so big? Again, support may come in, is the way I feel it. The way I see it in my mind's eye, that you can channel support and then you can manifest support in reality. There is a fine line, but then there's a better way, which I know aren't coherent and compatible messages, but that's maybe where the confidence lies. Therein lies the magic of where there is a will, there is a way, right? Because will is a abstract, non-linear force, and a way through is very linear. So how do we make non-linear work in a linear fashion? And then how do we not take every linear path? Because not every linear path is going to lead us where we want to go. So there's the push and pull, or is it ebb and flow, right? Am I just going to keep talking because I didn't really intend for this message to be this long? Okay, let's just do a few things, like a few oracles, right? Look, we were in the Saturnian hour. It is Venus's day. And we were in the hour of Saturn, and now we are in the hour of Jupiter. Wow. Things do get better, right? There's a shift. Card number 8 and card number 9. See the linear kind of in the spiral? There's a linear aspect to it. If we go step by step, not if we're going to try to. Are we always trying to jump timelines? No. Divine masculine healing. Okay, so the masculine needs all this doing and doing and doing. There's likely a chance for you to address not necessarily celebration, but how far you've come. Okay, and that could mean, yeah, you do want to show up at the party. You do want to show up to the gathering. You do want to show up to the dinner. Nature spirits. Wow, this card hasn't shown up in a while. Number 39. And then the shift is still here. I'm so sorry. Wow, it's like nature's calling. Nature's calling. So you could also just want to take time out to be in nature, to be in a natural environment. That could be your initial, those could be your initial connections, right? So say you are feeling alone, maybe in nature you aren't, and maybe nature has a answer for you on how to connect. Actually, I already kind of went on my little nature walk, my swampy nature walk, and then I was going to even before I think about like going out tonight on a Friday night. Speaking of, wow, we already had the lion card and we have a snake here. I'm like, should I go out like to a hike before I even think about going out for like a Friday date or dinner or something like that? We have the buffalo card. So the buffalo card is like, keep going. You can get through this. Yeah. Wow. And then we have Cobra, the teacher, this fire, this alchemy. We've had a few snakes show up now in the readings and the cards. Then we have earthy, natural spirits here, earth spirits. The buffalo reminds you that the only way is through. And perhaps it's not the only way, but the way is through. That is the way. That's the way you want to go, is through it. Getting through it. Number 19, number 28, number 29, number 11, number 13, number 30. Wow. And we stop at faithfulness. Okay. So Aquarius, Sagittarius, Pisces, Virgo, Neptune. Neptune is in Aries, and it will retrograde into Pisces. So there's still these, I call them like cleanup efforts, is the way I see it. Oh yeah, here's the faithfulness. Oh wow. Return to the mountain, inner peace. And sometimes you do want to romanticize a little bit, as in, maybe you take yourself out. Maybe you take yourself directly to a foamy bath, salty bath. I don't know. The one shows up. The desert is here, which reminds me of the only way is through. Okay. Let's speed this up. Yeah, see the desert, the one, the vow, the ring, and the threshold. Okay, the village, the dead end, the womb, venom, tear, the seed. The village is very significant here. And that you may need to take a step back. You may need to unwind before you wind back in. 41, the moon in Scorpio. Oh, here we have the heart. Wow. This is giving me inner peace, and returning to the mountain is not about being cold and icy, because the cave can be cold and icy, but a return to the mountain means that there's a reason why you are reclaiming peace and you are tending to stillness and quiet before you venture back out. So the party could be proverbial, the party could be symbolic in that you're regenerating before even per se the holiday season. You're getting ready for the fall. You want to rest, and you maybe want to hang out with close-knit friends or family before you start tending to fall or spring activities wherever you are at, right? But there may be a lot of time that you want to also reclaim for stillness around throughout the next few months. I'm getting that a lot. Like there may be times where you need to actually write in your journal about what you want to manifest, because a lot of the energy from here until then, until next spring 2026, is about manifesting anew. Okay. Even through this kind of erratic timeline, right? So you're not necessarily ready for timeline jumps, and that's not to say that you aren't creating timeline jumps and shifts, but you are also getting ready for an even bigger timeline shift. Can I put it that way? You're getting more involved manifestation that's coming up in 2026 of spring. Wow. Okay. Uno momento. So the buffalo is grounded yet heavenly, practical yet spiritual. When in balance, trusting and pure presence. When out of balance, restless and lacks gratitude. To bring into balance, prayer and bhakti. Wow. Cool. So that's like service, right? Bhakti. Service to you, I would say, or even we have the village, so you may want to, I don't know if community service is the best phrase, but something along the lines like maybe helping friends, helping friendships, or helping family, again, tending to close-knit, that type of service, right? Tending to your emotions in an ease, in a non-pressuring manner. So the village is a hometown, the family and the tribe. When light, intimate, rooted, intergenerational, and communal. When dark, small-minded, gossipy, trapped, and restricted. Go deeper, Haruki Murakami's Hard-Boiled Wonderland and the End of the World. So Haruki Murakami is super romantic, like fantasy romance. These like highly hyper stylized, somewhat feminine. So it is like a release of the fire. Maybe even I would say having a not a ritual to like not a ritual that honors the fire, but a ritual that it is more to release it, right? Because I do talk a lot about like tending to the inner fire, but it more is like now tend to the release of the fire so that you can return to the flame. So there's like tending to the fire to remove impurities, and then there's tending to the fire, which is what I'm describing now, which is like, how can you release it through movement? And then movement is involved in, it could be physical, but it doesn't have to be. It can be more accessible, like talking it out or hanging out with friends, being around family, being in the community. So not shying away or going out in nature or writing about it, right? Thank you all so much. Once again, don't forget to hit like, leave me a comment. How do you tend to the fire, right? Okay, what's the advice for the collective for the month of August? At least this is for the first half of August, right? There's a shift in the middle of the month. There's a lot of midpoints along the way. Okay, let me address that for you. Wow, Two of Cups. Yeah, Venus is in Cancer, so it's a time to soften into the magic. You can be more domestic. This isn't about femininity or divine feminine. Remember, divine masculine appears here. Wow, look, Saturn, Capricorn tries to come out. You can release the fears by tending to your home, the her. And we had it, we saw it, and we read it in the Sabian Oracle image. It's less about talking about others. Okay, it's less about, wow, those flew out. We have card Justice flew out, like major. Wow. Okay. Holy wow, Two of Wands and card number 11. 211. 2 times 11 is 22, right? And then, but the 2 wands create like an 11. Your justice is due to you, and this could be about a divorce, but divorce can mean anything again, right? Divorce could be separation from job, from old ways of being. It's a karmic release, and more so it marks the beginning. We keep getting that symbolic, the end is the beginning, is the end to a lot, right? And we have an organization here and the World card once again. Saturn is here, and so is Taurus. The Uranus will retrograde into Taurus. So as the year progresses, we want to remind you that we will have time to readdress all these more social, the crumbling social structures that be, but more so, how does this affect you? How have you let structures that are falling affect you right now? How can you restructure? What have you learned more so about restructuring? And in your personal life, what have you learned from what is the self-understanding, right? A lot of that could help to push you ahead. The World card is about appearing in the world as a creative, as a manifester, so someone that not only thinks big but also goes about, like, does create, yes, even in small gestures. So like I would say, even taking a class on, taking a program on, something there, like learning, because there's strategy in your self-understanding, and it is like it's due to you. Okay, there's truth in, there's learning in that, and joining a class, in both being the teacher and the student, honoring those types of vibrations where you can appear in public in a way where it's more justified, like creative, and you're learning. Maybe you're used to being the one doing everything. Maybe you are going through a divorce, and the only way through is go through it. The only way to get through it is like keep that you have made the right decision, or that your guides have something to tell you with the Hierophant card here, the High Priest. So Taurus, Libra, and Saturn, Capricorn, and then Mars in Aries. Yeah, Aries, a new masculine appears. Okay, look, Mars in Capricorn, and then a gateway opens to you. Maybe you are worried. What's the outcome for the collective? Wow. Okay, look, appearing in the community and not shying away from it. The High Priestess, card number 2, and then 10 of Pentacles. That's Virgo, right? Mercury in Virgo. So in a few months, you'll be able to reappear. Maybe you have been in hiding. and you're coming back out, you'll be able to address yourself in the community. Why is that message here, right? Wow, the Hierophant again. What's the advice? What's the outcome for the collective? What's the advice and the outcome? What's the advice for the collective? Okay. Speak about it, write about it, text about it, communicate it. What's the advice for the collective? Please. Okay, yeah. Tend to you, tend to the hearth, tend to creation energy, card 22, the well, and Queen of Wands, Pisces and Aries. What do you have to let go of? Speak about it. What do you have to let in? Talk about it. Release what needs to be released. Don't move too fast. Communicate what you need to communicate. Create. In your communication, there's creation. We did say writing. There could be public speaking involved. There could be public appearance involved. You're coming back out in a way where that is the direction where you need to go. Or maybe you're afraid to come back out. Maybe you're paranoid to come back out. Go out in nature, ground. Prayer is evident with the Buffalo card. The only way is to get through it. Okay, what's the outcome? You've felt left out for a while as you were healing. Maybe you have been healing from the divorce. Maybe you need to know that you can go through this and you will heal. It will be what marks the healing. What begins and ends therein is the end and the beginning, right? Okay. The outcome is that you'll move from the fixed state, from over control, right? We have the Wheel of Fortune and the King of Pentacles. So let go of the release. The outcome is letting go of what you are trying to control too much. And we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is all fixed signs, Taurus, Scorpio, Leo. Those are all significant times in the next few months. October, November. Okay, now, October, November, this past May, or the upcoming May, like we talked about, April, May 2026. And then we have that junction point, Aquarius. What is it? December, January. Okay, so these next few months, very significant timeline for you to let go of what you need to let go of, and then start to release that fixation. But again, the King of Pentacles does refer to a masculine Taurus, so the divine masculine, the transmutation energy. From here until spring, you can get this done in the next few months, in the next 10 months. You can see a whole new you by releasing that which holds you back, which keeps you stuck. From now, you declare what has kept you back, ask for help from the right people, from the right organizations, from the right professionals, from the right teachers, okay? Ask for the loan where ask for whatever loan you need to. Ask your father for help, ask your mother for help, okay? An earth sign, and have fun where you can, and then release the rest. You will be very guarded. But what do you need to guard yourself from? I'm sorry, I'm shaking the table. What do you need to guard yourself from, and what are you too guarded from? Where can you spend more, not just money, where can you spend more time? What can you spend more time on? What can you spend a little bit more effort on? Where do you need to pull back to save more? Where can you address finances? Where can you build a better budget? Okay, confidence is your key to success, grounding in nature, prayer to higher guidance, asking for higher guidance and asking for the right guides to appear in your natural waking life, pertaining to the home, being who you are as a mother, as a father, as a caretaker, or asking for specific care from particular caretakers that can help you move this energy quickly and to create the new life that you want. Got it? You got 10 months. The world, the magician, and this beautiful Ace of Pentacles, okay? I do believe that I cannot show that. But here we are. Once again, we have the fixed signs of Taurus, Leo, and Scorpio and Aquarius, okay? Very beautiful reading here. And then we have the magician, this curly-haired freak. Who, me? Yes, we're helping you. Okay, wait. I love it. You got it? Collective, hit like. Leave me a comment, okay? Subscribe if you're new here, if you made it all the way. We're here to create magic, and we're here to help you wield and yield, be free by magic, okay? Powerful, beautiful magic, not unnatural, not dark, okay? With the power of justice and the power that be, the higher power, higher source, okay? Planetary adjustments, no fixations here on anything that holds us down, holds us back. The only way is through, okay? With magic. I applaud your efforts. I congratulate you. You are extremely blessed. Ciao.